What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I'll be doing a technical analysis breakdown for advanced micro devices with the ticker symbol AMD. Remember that if you want a chart analysis guaranteed to be done, please read the description below. Before we begin, please take a second to give the video a like and subscribe for more chart analysis. I appreciate all those who have already subscribed and liked my videos. Just a reminder that this video is for entertainment purposes only, does not constitute any financial advice. I will first go over what I see on the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. So I did NVIDIA on my previous video, so AMD would be a good complement since they're both kind of in the same sector. So AMD is pretty much following the same chart as NVIDIA. NVIDIA is following the same chart as AMD, so the charts look very similar. Let's go ahead and compare it. Let's change this to a line chart and let's compare it to NVIDIA. So let's type in NVDA, the ticker symbol, and we're going to choose NVIDIA, and you can see that NVIDIA is orange and AMD is blue, and it's very similar. So you can see that the price movements are very similar. We had a all-time high around the same time. We had a lower high right around here in late December. It led to a massive sell-off. So it looks very similar, and that's expected because usually the stocks in the same sector trade the same way. So let's get rid of that. Let's go back to the candlestick chart to see the details on the price action. So like I said before, AMD is very similar to NVIDIA. This is pretty much the same chart, except a few exceptions. So you see that we had a rally up here to the 165 high, and we pretty much came back right to where we started. Usually when we have a pop up and we cannot proceed any further, there were some signs of weakness in the chart that showed us that we're probably going to come back to the starting point, and that's pretty much where we went to before we got a bounce. We got a bounce because we were super extended from the EMA, and this was a previous buying area, which is support, and that's where people are buying again. So there's probably a lot of buy orders over here, and we're pulling back. So is this pullback going to be temporary, or is this going to lead to the same bounce that we got here previously? Well, I'm leaning towards the bearish side because I'm a little skeptical of these bounces in the market as of right now. That doesn't mean I'm not bullish. I'm obviously still bullish long term. I think we're going to easily rally up to the all-time high sooner than later. But are we going to just pull back maybe something like this before getting rejected and then continuing lower? So that's what I'm leaning towards, because this channel holds the prices very well. All these price bars are inside of it. And recently we had a breakout side of this channel, and normally when we get a breakout side of a channel, we usually retest the previous extreme. So in this case, it's the $99 level. So I'm still expecting prices to come back to that level and exceed it. But if the support is strong, and usually when we have like a breakout like we did here, and we can get just a V bottom, the letter V as in violin. Normally, if we get that V bottom, then we might not even come back to that previous low. Usually, the support overrides that channel, and we might just rocket out of here. So you can see that this was a pretty strong bounce. So it's just going to be temporary, or is it going to be the real deal? So we'll have to wait and see. So I don't know either. We're going to have to see more price candles form before being more confident. So as of right now, I don't think a lot of traders know either. Obviously, maybe some traders bought over here and they're already in profit, but they'll probably get out if we can't break through that 132 level. So this level will tell us a lot. So I'm waiting for price to get over here if it can. If it gets over here and we find resistance and we see rejection, then we're probably going to come down again to the lows to test it again. If we come back up to the 132 level, 130 level, and we get some type of acceptance or basically some type of consolidation, then there's a possibility that we might bust through that level, find some type of support, and continue higher from there. So it's just a waiting game until we get there. But as right now, I'm leaning towards the bearish side unless the market changes. So we had that all-time high. We sold off. I'm still bullish long term because you can see that we've been going up for quite a long time. AMD's been in a bull trend or uptrend since pretty much 2018, it looks like, was the start of this move, and it's not really gonna be over until we have a solid breakout inside of a channel. And right now we're still inside of this yellow channel. Well, let me drag it over. I gotta drag this up actually. So we're still inside of this yellow channel, and you can see that this dashed line is holding prices pretty well. So I believe this to be the channel that AMD is respecting. But there's also another one. You can see that this is also a channel that could be in play. Let's go and erase that. Let's do that one more time. I believe this is a channel that could be in play also for AMD. So there's two uptrend channels is what I'm trying to say that AMD is inside of. So I don't think this is the end for AMD, but I'm still thinking we can pull back to the channel, because right now we did get a bounce from top of support right over here. But normally when prices are at the upper side of the channel, we can come to the lower side. So that's why I'm expecting prices to come back at least one more time to that low before being bullish. You can see that previously prices were at this dashed line, and it slowly trickled away, slowly trickled to the support side of the channel, even though there were bounces previously at the lows. You can see that these two bounces were at the lows, but that didn't lead to the rally. We came right back to the low point one more time. We actually went below it to stop out all the longs and trap in all the shorts before rocketing higher. So that's why I think the same pattern can play out over here, where we did get a bounce from the support, but they might come back one more time to the area I circled to stop out all the longs who entered, trap in all the shorts before rocketing up. Well, that's what I believe can play out 75 to 80% of the time, but we'll have to see what price action wants to do at this 131 level. So if we start selling off from there, then we might not, from anywhere here, then we might not even reach this level. But if we reach this level and we break through it, then obviously I'm not bearish any longer. I'm going to be bullish, and I'm pretty sure we're going to reach or exceed the all-time highs. So that's pretty much my analysis for AMD. It looks like the earnings were today. I don't know what the earnings were, good or bad. It doesn't really show on this chart. So we could see, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a gap up, just because the whole market is pulling back and we are far away from the EMA. So there could be a gap up, but that could be short-lived. And I also wouldn't be surprised if we just gap down, because this downtrend is pretty strong and we just had a first breakout side of it. So I wouldn't be surprised there either. But I'm expecting that gap up more likely, just because of the direction of the overall market. So let's just summarize what I've stated so far. So you can see that AMD sold off. We bounced at support. I think this is just temporary. I think we're still going to continue higher, although I'm looking for lower prices one more time before seeing another big move up. So let's go and wrap this up on the weekly chart. So here's the weekly chart for AMD, and you can see that if you ask anybody where is this market going, up or down, they're going to say up. It's just more likely. I'm pretty sure people are picking the top. Let me erase this little line I got on my chart accidentally. So I'm pretty sure people were thinking this was the top here, this was the top here, this was the top here. So every time people thought this was the top, the swing, they were wrong. So it's just higher probability to stick with the trend. So is this the top? Well, it could be, but the chart doesn't really show it, because the trend is still moving up. So as long as the trend continues higher, I'm going to stick with that. Even though we are seeing signs of weakness, I think the market is just going to fill in this gap right here, maybe pull back to the EMA, maybe make one leg down again to stop out the people who went long right here, who have the stop losses there. I think we can reach that $94 level. It looks like this was a previous breakout level, and it doesn't look like we have tested it. So we could pull back to that $95 level. And then from there, I think we're going to get two legs to a new high. So that's the pattern I see playing out for AMD. I could be wrong, but either way, I'm still bullish long term. I think we're going to knock out the 168 level and exceed it. I'm just between being long and being bearish in the short term. It's hard to predict. It's just, it'll be easier to predict when there's more price bars on the chart and we reach those higher levels. That will just be the judgment for AMD if we're going to continue lower or higher. So as of right now, this is what I'm sticking with. But if anything else changes, I'll give you guys an update. Thank you for stopping by and checking out my video. Make sure to check out the rest of the channel since you might be surprised on what you can learn. Leave a comment down below on where you think prices are headed. Also share the video if you want your friends to learn about the markets. Lastly, I appreciate any feedback to help improve the channel since I want to deliver great content to you guys. See you next time and bye.